discount, and I know it's a good school because I see Leslie all the time. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of the tape because Dad will want to get on for the next hour and a half, and we still have to interview Leslie. So say goodbye, Jimmy.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Nikki.
Goodbye.
Bye. See you next year.
See you next year.
January 1st, 1990. We're here at our new house on Ridgeview Way. Just a few notes that I remember from last year's interview. As far as goals fulfilled, we made one and didn't make one. One was to finish the house and move in, and we're in, and we're very happy with it. The other one was, of course, to lose weight, and I haven't done that, but we're going to get going on that again this year, and we're all serious about it. So we've joined a health club, and we're going to really get fit for the 90s. This is the end of a decade. We had a nice party last night with all of our friends at Los Altos Country Club. Got together with everybody. I guess it's my job in these tapes to go through a little bit of what's been happening. 1989, locally here, we had the biggest earthquake we've had since the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco. It was a very strong quake. It was very local. It was over in Santa Cruz. At the time of the quake, it was just before the World Series was going to start, and we were here getting ready to watch the game, and the earthquake started, and it was very, very strong. It's amazing how different the earthquake is. We're on the east side of the valley, on the west side of the valley where the actual epicenter was. There was a lot more damage, a lot more shaking, things thrown around. This one definitely shook a lot. We were all scared by it, but we didn't have any damage. And there was a lot of damage in San Francisco. They had freeways collapse. They had 100 people killed, houses burned. There was quite a bit of damage. There was a lot of excitement about it. It was about 30 minutes before the World Series started, and for the first time in I think it's 27 years, the Giants made it to the World Series after defeating the Cubs in the National League playoffs. They played the A's, and unfortunately the A's beat the Giants kind of handily. One sad note for the year, a close uncle, Tom Calhoun, passed away this year. That was right before the World Series. He was an avid Giant fan, and we were all kind of hoping the Giants would win for Tom. On other happier notes and medical notes, our stepmom, Liz Calhoun, who's married to my dad, has had a kidney transplant. That was very successful, and she has just gone back into the hospital and had her 2 old kidneys taken out, and that was successful, going through that. I better keep moving along here a little bit. In sports, the 80s, well, 1989 was great. The 49ers won the Super Bowl. They went to Miami, and we went back there, saw the game. It was a nice party. We had a good time. It was a great game. And the 49ers are now being called the team of the decade. They've won 3 Super Bowls in the 1980s. The big thing that's been happening in 1989 and throughout the 80s, the year was a funny year. The Russians started pulling out of... Stop it, you guys.
Knock it off.
Now, the kids are not being good. Now they'll be good. They'll be good. Is that started off with the Russians doing a lot of things about arms reduction. They pulled out of Afghanistan. There were lots of good things going on in Africa, peace in a lot of these little countries that were warring. And then there was a tremendous democratic movement going on in China. And the students had a rebellion, and they staged these peace demonstrations in Tiananmen Square in Beijing, China. Went on for weeks and weeks and weeks in defiance of the authority who said not to do it, not to have the demonstrations. And they went ahead and kept doing it. Chinese came in and had a massacre. They brought in the military with tanks and absolutely wiped out these students, killing hundreds and hundreds of people. Then they had purges where they started picking up all the other professors and students and anybody that was participating in the demonstrations and started sentencing them to jail and executing them, and we don't know how bad that is. So it started off on a good peaceful note, and then it went to a bad note. Right on the eve of that, Poland elected its first democratic government, and Lech Wałęsa, however you say his name, became their first ruler there. And then people started leaving Czechoslovakia and East Germany into Czechoslovakia and coming into the West. And it's the first time in a long time there's been any kind of movement, and there were tremendous movements going on within the Eastern Bloc of the Soviet Union for democracy. And one after another, the events after China, it just started crumbling. Czechoslovakia opened its gates, and has had a total change of government. That was followed right after the Poland had their situation, and then the East Germans were leaving East Germany through Czechoslovakia, and the pressure on the East German government was tremendous, and then all of a sudden, in a very drastic step, the East Germans opened up the Berlin Wall. Now, that's something that's been around all my life, it seems like, is the Berlin Wall. People have been killed over it trying to escape from East Germany. It's been guarded, and the wall is a symbol of communism and so forth, and the wall was opened, and there was free movement between East and West Germany. There's now talk about unification. They've opened up the main gates through Brandenburg Square, where which was used to be the old German capital, and so tremendous movements. Then down in Romania, they've had a great big bloody revolution there and kicking out their dictator. So the whole Eastern Bloc is just going completely to democracy, and the Soviet Union's going to democracy. They're withdrawing troops, they're cutting back on armament, and there's a tremendous push for, or I should say, an optimism for peace in the future. Coupled with all that and more on the home front, we have a big drug problem in the 80s in America. Cocaine is the popular boutique drug, as they call it. It's being imported through South America, and a lot of the drugs come in through Panama and through the cooperation and help of their ruler down there, Noriega. Noriega's been indicted by the U.S. and for the drug trafficking, and we've been trying to catch him and get him. The people down in Colombia have been very brave about trying to fight the drug wars down there. They have these huge drug cartels, which are armed as well as the military. They have the drug people have been killing judges, bombing buildings, and actually staging a war. And the Colombians have been sticking in there, trying to root out these drug traffickers, and in fact have just had a very bloody confrontation with the number 2 drug cartel, killing the leader and his son and 11 or 12 of his bodyguards. And then coupled with that, out of the blue, the American forces, like on New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, airlifted some about 12,000 troops into Panama, and absolutely went in there to get Noriega and oust his rule and his government. It's been a very successful campaign. The country is stable, and Noriega has fled. He then surfaced in the Vatican embassy asking for asylum from the church. That is the big thing right now. It's up in the air as to what's going on. So anyway, this is all coupled with the U.S. trying to protect its border against the influence of drugs and all these drugs that come in from South America, and cleaning up a lot of those routes. And hopefully it's working. hard to get all these things together and figure out what's been going on for the decade.
What do you see in the 90s?
In the 90s, I see all the projections for the 90s are a lot of growth in Northern California. We've had a lot of growth. 88, 89 have been real good years for growth in the valley. A lot of industry, a lot of population growth, a lot of housing, a lot of inflation in the housing market. 1990 itself, I see the market flattening out a little bit. Our prices have been a little out of control. Inflation's been a little too rampant. We need to slow it down a little. I see the market being strong, but flat in pricing. In sports, again for 89 and now 90, 49ers are in contention again this year for the Super Bowl. Next week, January 6th, they play their first playoff game. They'll be meeting the Minnesota Vikings, and it'll be at Candlestick. And we've got our tickets for New Orleans. Hopefully we'll see the Super Bowl in New Orleans and see the 49ers there and win their fourth Super Bowl, first one of the 90s. God, it's hard to figure out for the 90s. Technology is the thing. Everything is just getting more and more electronics. Fax machines, computers, just everything, home computers to buy stocks, do banking. It does appear that is really coming. The TV ads these days for the phone company, Telesys, show these video phones where you can link up to the other person on the phone, and these phones are the size of a wall, the TVs are, so that you have life-size pictures of the people on the other end. They're talking by the year 2000 that those sort of things will be in use. They just keep advancing all this technology. I suppose you see someday where you will never have to drive again. You can do all your business from your home through modems, hook up with other computers, hook up with each other, communicate through computers, and the TV, this two-way TV that will start coming. I'm not an expert or know anything about electronics, but I guess it all has to have fiber optics in order to have this, so it'll take a long time before all the wires could be changed to be able to carry these kind of transmissions. But it's in the works, and it's there. Part of Gail's interview, just to touch on it, my entire family's been reunited this year, in that Carrie and Leslie are living with us here, and Jimmy and Nikki, of course, are here with Gail. And we've got plenty of room in the house, and we're having a nice year. That
Leslie, grab a G.
We're also friends.
Oh, yes,
Jimmy, forget it. Mom's doing interviews. Come here.
And Morley, say Merry Christmas, and I hope
Merry
you come back
Christmas.
many more Christmases.
Yes, I
and spend them
intend
with
to.
us, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
You're gonna go to bed. You're on.
I'm a Merry Christmas. Oops, I think I have the head upside down. Merry Christmas from me and my furry pet. The only thing that understands me in the world is me and my snake.
Push his tongue.
Yes. How do I push his tongue?
Push his
the
head.
head.
Other.
Now, for important things, Dad, what are my goals?
Okay, let's
Do you want
hear
me
it.
to say?
Yeah, goals.
My goals are to make it through another year with 3 absolutely exhausting males in the household. I would give my teeth up Carrie and Leslie as my daughters in the house so I could have a little help and a little rest around here. But I love my sons very much, and my husband very much too.
Nikki just
My
had
husband
a
looks very
birthday.
sexy because he just got brand new clothes and they're big enough for him, and I'm afraid to let him go to Santa Cruz or anywhere else because the girls will see him and that'll be the end of it.
Ow!
And be gone, yes. And I have 2 beautiful sons. JP is 3 and Nikki is 2. And JP's not feeling too good today. He's sick, so he had monsters in and out of his beds all night last night. So it was a long night for Mom and JP. And Nikki's doing just fine. Nikki's very happy, and he was really a good boy at Christmas. So They're both beautiful children, and next year we're really looking forward to moving to the new house, and I will be looking forward to that too.
And ate up all the cookies, and he ate a part of that roll thing, and he drank a whole bunch of milk, a chocolate milk. They put a present under the tree.
And more presents under the tree? Carrie got a mirror? Oh, there's a big box here for Daddy that says to Santa, from Santa, huh?
Where's my ball? Where's my right here?
And then the big stockings,
This one's.
My goodness.
This one's. Because it got to be the little.
What was your favorite? What do you want from Santa, Jim?
Someone Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles? What about you,
And a
Nikki?
Robocop. And a Ninja Turtle car. And a Ninja Turtle airplane. Brady Kid.
Oh.
And I want to.
This is Daddy, the day of Christmas Day.
Good morning. Merry Christmas. Making the coffee.
Santa came down the chimney and he left the doors of the fireplace open, so we know for sure he came in.
Yes.
The evidence is there, and he ate 3 cookies and a ho-ho and drank chocolate milk. And he didn't even take the plate over to the sink after he was done. Oh boy. And here's evidence of a party last night. Do the Calhouns know what excess is or what? Bags and bags and bags of trash. But it was a fun party last night with ham, scalloped potatoes, lots of hors d'oeuvres. And we all sat at a long table, 17 of us. See you on Christmas morning. Say Merry Christmas, Leslie.
Merry Christmas.
We'll get your interview when you're ready to go to your mom at the end. And there's Carrie. She's gonna play Santa.
Oxmoor at Food Yard, huh?
Who's this from?
Carrie.
Oh. And what is it?
Mom.
Come on.
Uncle Mom.
What is it?
Carrie, this is great.
Let me see.
Yes, this is great.
What is it?
New to the sugar and soft.
And
I need
all
soft.
right.
Thank you, Carrie.
There's
You guys show Mom.
Christmas.
Carrie, thank
Tea, what is it?
What size?
A cat, a mouse. What kills? A cat that all those mouses.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mouse, huh? What do you got? Shredder! Yay! They go in your box now. And there's Carrie. 1989. We have a sad story this year. Carrie had to have a brain operation, but we couldn't afford a good doctor, so we had to take her to a quack, and they went into. Now, as you can see, he somehow didn't quite get him, so they stay in. But her boyfriend Matt still loves her and just calls her Wiggly Eyes. My little Wiggly Eyes.
No, this was Dad's little joke.
Christmas 1989. Okay, Carrie, this is the last year of the big decade. 4 more days and it's 1990. What's happened to you this year?
Geez, a lot has happened. Let's see, to start out, I'm still with my boyfriend, Matt. It'd probably be the same as next, Sunday. It'll be a year and 6 months. On my last message, I said we were together for 6 months, and we're doing really, really good. 89 brought, a lot of good, but then there was, some bad. His dad passed away from a heart attack, and it was really hard, but he's getting through it, so it's really good. And actually things are really good right now. I moved out of my house. I got kicked out of my house in October from my mom, and I'm living with Dad and Gail now, and I'm very, very happy. And Leslie moved in also, so that's like one of my biggest changes this year, just adapting, and I've really taken on to just like make myself happy lately, because you can't just dwell on everything. So that's like a big thing. I turned 16 and got my license, so I'm driving around town now. I still don't have insurance. Oh, I just got informed I have insurance now.
Actually.
Let's see, I know Dad will elaborate on it, but there were a lot of world events this year.
Battery again.
You want to stop?
No, keep going.
If it was down in Panama with Noriega and all the fighting, there was a lot to go on with that, and there was the Berlin Wall being taken down, and I just picked up, we're in a drought. We haven't seen rain in a while. Let's see, in 87 I was talking about I was at Valley Christian and hated it. 88 I talked about being at Willow Glen and drugs and gangs, and I didn't like it, and now I'm at Pioneer High School. Hang on, Jimmy, be quiet. I'm at Pioneer High School now, and I absolutely love it. It's the best. I love it. It's so much fun. I'm going to school with
Welcome to What's Happening in 1990 with Gail Calhoun. Today is the beginning of a new year and a new decade, and we're a little late with our interviews. However, we will start by me interviewing myself. Now, Gail, what happened to you in the last year that was really exciting that you want to be for posterity? Well, Gail, in July of this year, 1989, I moved into a lovely new house with my handsome husband, Patrick, and my two beautiful children, James, Patrick, and Nicholas. And 3 months later, I was joined by Pat's two lovely girls, Carrie Calhoun and Leslie Calhoun. And actually, the big house is working out really nice. Except the telephone is always busy, as it is now. I am teaching at Oak Grove High School, special education, my second year, and I am going to school to get my special education degree. I like very much the special education students, but I really would like, in the end, to teach high school or even junior college English, which is my love. My goal for the next year is to lose 10 pounds and get physically fit. I want to work out at least 4 times a week. We've joined the Nautilus Health Club, and that should be possible. And I'd like to just mellow out a little bit. And that's not all. But I wish everybody who watches this later, I have the greatest of hopes for the 1990s.
No, Vicky, don't say that.
And for our life here.
Did you want to say anything more about what's happened in the year, or what's happened in the 80s?
Oh, in 1980s were very exciting. The big thing, the exciting thing is that communism is crumbling. The Berlin Wall is down. They've overthrown the government in Romania. A horrible dictator down there. We've chased Noriega from Panama into the Vatican, where he's asked for asylum. The Vatican Assembly in Panama. He was a huge drug lord, evil man, and essentially they're finding out all over the world that communism doesn't work because there's no self-motivation. In the United States, capitalism has run rampant, and I am positive that in the next few years there will probably be a crash in the stock market because nobody's investing in the future. Everybody's just buying companies that already exist and investing for right now to make the profit. So there's very little R&D going on, and it's very dangerous.
You've been predicting this crash for the last 3 years?
And I was right. They did have a crash 2 years ago in October. Black Monday, they called it. But I foresee another one.
Is there anything that you want to talk about in art or literature?
Nothing except I was really depressed I just heard on the radio the list of the 10 best books of the 1980s. I haven't read a single one of them. What has happened to me? Get married and have babies, and your mind just goes to pudding.
Just a fragment of your former self,
I'm just a fragment of my former self,
and a legend in your own mind.
and I'm a legend in my own mind, but I'm rapidly becoming simply a figment of my imagination. And that's all I want to say for posterity and for my children and my grandchildren.
Okay, and what's happening with your children this last year
Come
or
over
right
and
now?
say hi, Jimmy. Come over and say hi, Nikki. This, smile at the camera, this is James Patrick Calhoun. He is, how old are you, Jimmy?
4.
What's your favorite thing this year? What did you get Christmas time?
Ninja Turtles.
Right, what's your favorite movie?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, and also Batman. And this is Nicholas Morley Calhoun. Nicholas is 3 years old, December 19th. Say, that's right, 3. Do you go to school, Nikki? Yeah, you go to school. What's your teacher's name?
Understand?
Miss Anna. What's your teacher's name, Jimmy?
Miss Carol.
Miss Carol now? You have a new one?
Yeah.
Miss Lucy's gone? It's a very nice school, but it's very expensive. But Miss Leslie works there. So we get a 30...
Industrial growth and commercial growth, Santa Clara County is tremendous. If the space gets filled up and the jobs are created by the space, then we're going to have lots and lots of prosperity.
Go, Dad, go.
Go, Dad, go. Okay, just really quick, something a little personal now.
A little personal.
Pat Calhoun. Stand
What
up
did
and
you get?
model
Well,
your
we're
new
going to lose
clothes,
a lot of
Daddy.
weight. We're going to lose a lot of weight this year.
Model your new clothes. You look so sexy.
Oh, it's right here. What did you get your wife for Christmas?
Well, Santa Claus got her a whole bunch of skirts and sweaters, and I got her some underwear and lingerie and perfume. So we're all set. And we got we got a couple of gift certificates for hotels around town, so we're going to be using those up soon. 49ers in the playoffs for the 6th straight year.
Man around town.
Champion. They're
Dress 'em up,
champions.
take 'em out.
We're not saying rude to the
Dodgers won the World Series. Lakers won the basketball championship, first team to repeat in about 10 or 15 years, back to back.
Okay, last question. Then, overall, what would you rate, scale 1 to 10, 1988?
Well, 1988, all in all, is about a 7.5.
Hey, not too bad.
Turbulent year.
Anything to rate.
Turbulent year, a growing year, a year where we're building, moving, waiting to do something else, but and the boys are, growing up and they're a handful, but they're getting past some of their stages.
Okay.
So 7.5 would
Can I
probably
think
rate
of
it
a
up.
message to Jimmy about staying out of your bed at night while you're here, Dad? You have a problem with that, don't you?
That's right. Well, it's just a bad habit because the next thing that's going to happen, what's been happening is Jimmy's been coming in the middle of the night, and the next thing that's going to happen,
No, Jay.
well, is the Nick's going to start coming into our bed. So it's
What
going to
about
just
me,
get to
Dad?
be a habit,
Yeah, Carrie into your bed, Leslie into your bed. It's a family bed.
huh?
But that's the new thought. It's a family
Seems
bed.
to be. Seems to be.
And then you find Mom and Dad in the
Merry
twin beds.
Christmas, Pat.
And it also looks to that did I already say that Leslie maybe she's graduating from UCLA this year, maybe back to the Bay Area next year for graduate school.
That's right.
And so we'll be glad to have her back
She could
here.
be in the family bed, so you get scared, Leslie. You just come into there.
That's
You're
right.
monster.
That's right. If Freddie comes out of the ground with those knives on his hands, you just come jump in bed with us also.
Yeah. We're
That's a
safe.
private
Be
joke.
okay,
The next
though,
door
huh?
neighbor has this Freddie thing from
Okay. Freddie
How-
Cougar from
Freddie Cougar
Elm Street.
from Elm Street.
Kruger.
Kruger.
Sorry about that.
Never seen the movie.
Okay.
Signing off.
Happy
Merry
Halloween.
Christmas. Happy New
See you
Year.
I
next
said to be
year.
40 years old. Are you happy?
40 years old? Oh, that's no problem.
Be
Going to
turning
41.
41.
We'll see you probably another interview in just a
Oh, Dad,
month.
how's your golf game?
My golf game is fine. It's down to a 15 and playing a little better than that.
Good. Merry Christmas, Dad.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Say hello
See you in
to Wayne.
1989.
Good. And a year for Leslie. Leslie turned 21 this year. She's a senior at UCLA.
Jim, come here.
And and she's planning on coming up for graduate school.
That's mine.
We don't
Jimmy,
see enough of
Would you hush
her,
up? And he's not
but
going to
every
take
time
a
we
moment.
do, she gets prettier. So, Leslie,
Thank you.
Leslie, what are your goals
Hi.
for the coming year, and how was your Christmas?
Well, Christmas was great. Goals for the coming year. I would have to say the major goal is next year I want to talk into this camera and be 10 pounds lighter. And I'm going to run a half marathon in March, the LA Marathon. And Dad keeps throwing things at me
Yeah, you
just
don't do
because
that.
he didn't have that successful of an interview, so he wants us to flub up too.
Are we being psychoanalyzed now?
So anyway, the marathon will be another goal. The biggest goal is most likely to get into grad school. I'm applying to 9 different schools. It's very competitive. So we'll just a minute. Time out.
Yeah, that's time out.
So my biggest goal is to
That was my
get accepted
extra
somewhere.
joke.
Other
Where
goals,
do you want to be accepted? Do you have any?
you know, an all-time dream, Stanford. That's an all-time dream. So I'm looking at Santa Clara right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What's your love life like?
well, non-existent.
that's not true. Plenty to date.
No, I date plenty, but Mr. Wonderful hasn't crossed my path yet. So that would be, well, you can't make that a goal, but that would be a nice present for 1989.
Yeah, they have some fun being single.
Oh
too.
yeah,
Don't
that's
just
true.
play yourself either.
That's true. Yes. And this overall, let's see, 1988 was actually, I would give it an 8, almost 8.5. Good year. Just fun. Just my whole goal. I have a more existentialism philosophy these days, and I'll take each day at a time. Enjoy one part of each day. Be aware. And just laugh more. So, yeah, it's pretty fun. Let's see, in 88, I had my 21st birthday, very much fun. I was accepted for Helpline, and I'm still presently working on the Helpline.
Which is what?
It's a suicide high crisis hotline at UCLA. And then, let's see, what else? Then I went to Maui with a bunch of my girlfriends. Had a great time, and I was a brush counselor. In September for my last sorority rush, which I'm very happy about. I'm getting ready to move into an apartment, my first little apartment, and I'm very, very excited about that. My friends are great, and everything, I'm pretty up. Yeah, it's been a good year.
Well, say Merry Christmas.
Okay,
And to your future husband and children down the way, say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
From
And
the
I
past.
will look a lot cuter
Yes, from the
later.
past, 21 years old,
Okay.
your mom, Leslie Calhoun, or your aunt, Leslie
Yay.
Calhoun, or your grandma, Leslie
Oh,
Calhoun.
come on.
Yeah, exactly,
We will
you'll be a
push it
grandma.
that far.
And here's
Okay.
Grandpa Calhoun, Leslie Calhoun, and Carrie Calhoun.
Hi.
Hey, I think Carrie's next.
I shot my age today in golf.
Hello, Merry
1988. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I won't do that.
And Carrie, what's been happening to you this year, 1988?
Camera shy?
Well,
Big smile.
I got my braces off in September, which is good. And I started a new school. I'm at Willow Glen High School.
How do you like that?
It's okay. It's
Jim, out of the way.
not the best, but it's better than Valley Christian. So
What's wrong with this
it's
school?
good.
It's not the best.
I don't know. It's a real cliquish school. But I played volleyball. I was on the volleyball team. That was okay. I have a new boyfriend,
Yes, and what's his name?
Matt Primer. Saturday we'll be together for 6 months. Hopefully next Christmas he'll still be around.
You get along real well together, huh?
Yes, that's
He
basic.
drives besides, right?
Yes, also, I got a dog named Happy. Looks like a Jersey
Happy.
cow.
What kind of a dog is it?
A mutt and a Springer Spaniel.
Oh, a good mix. So it's a good dog. Yeah.
So,
And what are your goals, Carrie, for the next year? What year are you in school? What year are you going to
I'm
be?
a
What are you going to
sophomore.
be doing?
I'm a sophomore, and I just hope to get to my junior year successfully.
It's 1989, right?
Yes.
Just successfully. What else?
No real big
Well,
goals.
what about
Lose a
your
little bit
bod?
of weight. Yes, I joined a health club for Christmas. Hopefully that'll start paying off.
And going to the tanning salon too, right?
Oh, that was temporarily for a winter ball Matt and I went to. It was a Christmas
how-
ball.
Yes, and you had a nice dress for that?
Yes, I've been going to a lot of dances and dressing up. So.
You like to dress up, right?
Yes, I do.
That's what you like clothes a lot, right?
Yes, like clothes.
Like clothes and what do you want to be? Have you got any ideas these days?
No clue.
Just get through school, right?
Exactly.
Junior year coming up.
Yeah.
Who's your best girlfriend? Leslie.
You're right. Probably still Marcy.
Marcy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your neighbor, right?
Yeah, we've known each other. We've grown up.
That's
So.
right.
Oh, and Jessica Mason too.
And Jessica.
Yeah.
Really like
Went to
Jessica.
Tahoe together.
That's right. You spend all your time writing letters to Matt.
Yep.
So, your big goal in 1989, Carrie, once more for the camera, is?
Basically to get to my junior year successfully. I don't know enough about the stocks and the tax and all that good stuff that Dad rambled on about.
So
But
just to stay healthy and happy, right?
exactly.
And do you take drugs?
No.
Will you ever take drugs?
No, but I am a gang member.
Are you a Crip? Or
Yeah.
are you a Crip or a, what's the other one?
The Bloods.
The Blood. Are you a
I'll be a Crip.
Blood? What color are the Crips?
Crips are red and
No.
the Crips are blue and the Bloods are red.
And how can you tell?
Because I saw the movie Colors.
But what color, what do they wear, bandana? or what?
Bandanas, shoelaces, caps.
Can you wear those to Willow Glen?
No, you
Those
can't.
colors?
If you get caught with a sign of a gang member, you can get suspended.
So gangs are a big deal, right?
Big deal.
And what do they
Drugs are a big deal. There's lots of drugs in the school.
So they're available if you want them, right?
Yep.
Kind of sad, huh?
Very sad.
But there's just a group that uses them now, right?
Yep.
And they're called what?
They're just not even stoners, just people that use drugs.
The drugs are no longer considered attractive or fun.
To some people they are. It's all social, so who knows?
Well, we're real proud of you, Carrie. You look right on the way you are. You look real pretty this year with that
Oh,
braces
God.
on. Now it's glad to get rid of them because now he doesn't have to worry about his lips being bruised anymore. The kiss.
Sure.
You don't kiss, do you, Carol?
No.
Carrie doesn't kiss. We've never been kissed. Aww.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Christmas, Morley.
Merry Christmas,
Morley.
everyone.
This is your first Christmas with us.
Yes, it is, and it was wonderful.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time, and had a great time last night. Went over to Marcia's and opened lots and lots of presents and had a wonderful dinner. And then this morning, Gail and I got up early and waited for the kids to wake up. And finally, they woke up, and we had a great time opening presents. And then we had a super breakfast. And and now we're doing interviews.
So what is your goals? How was your last year? Was it good?
It was very nice, yes. 1988 was a very nice year for me.
Good. What happened?
Well, it was a year of kind of regrouping, and I got a new job.
What are you
a
doing?
Good job. I'm working for a company called More Now
Oh, what did
as an account exec, and having fun doing that.
That's good. And
Yeah.
living in San Francisco.
Living in San Francisco, and my personal life is really good.
What are your goals for next year?
To pay off my credit cards so I can run them up again. Now I want to pay off my credit cards and I want to get some tax write-offs.
All right. I mean, you gotta
so-
buy a house. You gotta buy a house.
Yeah, I gotta buy a house. Either that or come and live with Gail and Pat. They
They
have,
are-
you know, they have a bedroom for me. They have a little apartment that they built for me downstairs.
right.
Yeah. They said they wouldn't pay
You're
the
gonna
charge
be
me
proud
extra.
if you ask you Okay. What has happened to you in the last year that you remember and is important? And what are your goals for 1988?
Okay, last year is gonna be a little repetition from Christmas Eve, but the last year brought to me happiness, lots of fun at UCLA, growing experience.
New boyfriend?
No new boyfriends, but meeting a lot of nice ones. We are getting better educated, almost up to the 3.0. We definitely know we want to be a psychology major.
Uh-huh.
Good year to become reacquainted with Dad. Had great time at the Dad's Day. A big highlight of
Good
87.
picture, too.
Yes, cute picture. Starting to save money and gonna buy my T-bill, so my first little accomplishment. And very, very excited to come home for Christmas. It was very fun year.
And what about next year? Goals?
Goals. Okay, next year, just to keep improving, keep in shape, keep acquainted with all my good friends, stay in close touch with my family, and excel in school. I'm not tired of school yet. I enjoy school a lot. Interesting, and just to keep moving along with my life and have fun.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you, Leslie. This is 1987.
Okay.
Leslie will be having a big birthday next year. Big
Yes,
birthday.
21. 21.
Yay.
Yeah.
Same questions. What happened this year that you really remember is important? And what are your goals for next year?
Well, shut up. Well, the same year, I graduated from 8th grade, and I started high school. And high school is something I'll remember. I don't really like Valley, actually. I hate it. I'm excited to get into a public school next year, definitely. I want to continue, well, like Leslie said, I want to stay fit and lose some weight and meet new friends. Keep on with my grades.
Grades. You're gonna get the yeah.
Yes.
You're working real hard on the grades
Yes.
now in high school. And next year a new school for you, right?
Yep.
Yep. Good. Okay. Here, okay, Patrick, your interview. What has happened important in the last year that you'd like to have remembered? And what are your goals for 1988?
What has happened in the last year that I want remembered? Let's see. It's been a chaotic year. We made it through it. That's what I want to remember. We had Nick. We averted lots of controversy there because we had on December 19th of last year. It's actually a year and a couple of weeks, but we had the 49er Ram game on, and Nick was late being delivered, and I was going to go to the game regardless. I only asked for those 3 hours off. But he accommodated us, and he came that morning early, so I could go to the game that night.
Nick, what do you think about that, huh? That's
Nick is
important,
just
isn't
fine.
it?
Tell him, Nick, that we won.
We
Things are
won
good
the
this
game,
year.
yes.
49ers are on top again. But my life doesn't revolve around the 49ers.
What doesn't revolve around that?
Survival.
Survival. Oh.
What about the house?
What do you mean
Yeah.
survival? What is that?
Survival, just getting through all the stuff.
Hard year, huh, Pat?
Yeah, hard year. But things are fine. And we talked a lot last night. We had a list talk a lot last night at Marsh's. We have our annual evening party at Marsh's. And it was a good party, and we got into our goals and stuff. We got into this heavy. And the one thing is, everybody is kind of happy that we're all healthy, and everybody is healthy, and that's good. Main goal for next year is just to actually get out of the hole and build our house.
Build the house, right.
We have a nice lot up in San Jose East Foothills, overlooking the whole valley, and we want to build our house there, and we'll have a nice view, and next year we'll just celebrate Christmas looking over the whole valley.
Great, Patrick. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How old are you? 2.
2.
Did you have a good year? Was it fun? Where do you go to school? That
Away
way.
at Susie's.
Do you like,
You like
Susie?
Susie's?
Yeah.
Can you show everybody how smart you are? Can you count? How many is this, Jimmy?
Jim?
4.
No, how many is this? Can you do it for everybody? How many is this?
1.
Okay, how many is this? How much?
How many?
2.
That's right.
3.
Right. This is the hard one. How many? 1, 2, 3. How many? Tell the camera. How many? 4?
4.
We know how many this is, don't we?
Thank you, Jim.
And now,
Yes, I'm hoping I get Nikki on. Hi, Nick. This is your interview. What do you got to say, huh? With your sister, what do you got to say? Boy, slug it in there, kiddo. Good job.
Can we watch it on TV?
Yeah, you can watch it on TV now. Here we go. All done. Christmas.
She used to work at the soda shop.
What does it all mean? We're going to find out people's goals, what's happening in their lives, and what's happening in history right now. 1988 December. What kind of a year has it been in the Calhoun family?
we're on.
Yes.
Good evening, America.
Such a turkey. You love this.
Well, I don't know.
What do you have?
This is our tape, 1988 tape. I don't recall all of my predictions or goals from the 1987 tape. Although I know one of them was to do the house, which we are doing. We're not quite done. They're putting the roof on as soon as it stops raining.
Except for they
So-
killed the dog.
Yeah, we killed
Oh,
the dog
tell
last
about
week.
the dog. This is fun. How's the house is going?
Well, not exactly fun, but
It's kind of sad, but it's goofy.
our lumber company, or I should say, so that I'm not in trouble, the framing contractor's lumber company delivered a load of lumber on a semi-truck, and the way they take it off is they get half of it off the back of the truck, and then they just move the truck out real fast, and the wood all falls off the truck. Well, when they did this, it was raining, and there was a big black Labrador from 2 doors down that was underneath the wood, and we kind of crushed the dog.
Killed her.
Crushed the
But,
dog to death.
We've made
crushed the
real good
dog,
friends,
yeah.
right, Kat? The guys below us, they're not too happy with this
Well, that's to be
Why?
expected, but anyway, those aren't major problems, so they'll all work out.
There's a cross burning there now, and the house.
Yeah.
We lost all the plants of the people below us, and we
Well, this is
destroyed
for your
the view
interview.
of the people above us.
I'm not interested in
So
the
we're
plants
excited.
below us. I said we'd replant those and stucco the wall, and
So you're really anticipating moving into the new house?
yes. So that will happen in the next couple of months. So that part of that will be taken care of.
When do you estimate our moving in?
I estimate us moving in by March 1st.
March 1st, 1989.
With it being done by then, I don't know whether we'll move in because we need to sell the house at Vera. We may choose to stay here and leaving the furniture in here. So I don't know when we'll actually move in, but the house I think will be ready by about March 1st.
Oh.
It's going very well. It's on budget so far.
Oh.
So we'll see what
plus.
how it finishes on budget.
Yeah, it's a plus.
Using a lot of white Anglo-Saxon labor for this too, aren't you, Dad?
Yes,
We're frightened if somebody's.
they all have their green cards and they're all legal. Not very many of them speak English, but that's okay also.
That's right. They did a good job.
The important things going on right now are,
Yeah, in history.
see, last year we had a big stock market crash, and there were lots of predictions, and I recall my prediction is that the stock market would rise back up and that there really wasn't a lot of harm. We had an election, presidential election, where lots of things have been going on. There was lots of talk about foreign deficits, money, the value of the dollar, and so forth. I don't understand all that international economics. Well, this is what, now I'm getting criticism. What does this mean?
It doesn't mean we're just kind of falling
No,
asleep
go
here,
ahead.
Dad.
So, anyway,
This.
the economy seems to be very strong.
Who's president?
President-elect is George Bush.
And you
Are they
hate
ta-
that, don't you, Dad?
No, I like that.
That's good. You're
And Danny
right?
Quayle, his vice president, was probably not the best choice, but he made it. Had lots of controversy about him not being
Old enough.
old enough
What do you think
and
about
having
taxes
gone
in
through the
88?
National Guard instead of going to Vietnam. But none of us did go to Vietnam, so we all think that's fine.
What about taxes, Dad? You think they're gonna be able to make it the next 4 years without a tax increase? With the
See, I don't know that much about it. I think
Impossible.
I believe that they're going to try to raise revenue through other sources. I don't think they're going to have an income tax raise, but they may have taxes on alcohol or cigarettes or tax other services so they can raise some money. They're also looking at a lot of growth. Santa Clara County, after having an up and down decade, 1988 was a tremendous year. We saw 30% or better inflation on housing in Santa Clara County. The average house in the Bay Area now is $229,000.
Tell about how Marsha's moving.
You can go.
Okay, yes, Marcia is decided to move. She's going to go down towards San Diego.
Ranchero, California.
There's,
To make
well, I don't know, how long do you want me to talk on this thing?
Well, you can kind of wrap it up now.
Well, I'm
wrap
just
it up a
getting
little
into
bit
the
more with-
politics.
Well, keep
yourself.
going, honey. You
I have to, I want to say for posterity's sake, that so that we can remember these times, is that there are some really great international things going on.
What was your best gift?
President of the Premier of Russia is Mikhail Gorbachev, and he is doing a lot of interesting things.
That's right.
The U.S. is accepting them. We had a foreign exchange teacher here in Santa Clara County teaching at your school, Oak Grove, and we had him at Rotary, and he was very interesting on giving us insights on the differences between Russia and America and what their preconceived ideas of America are and what ours of them are. Anyway, there's lots of progress being made. There are pieces being made all over the world.
Yes, sir.
A lot of the African countries are now starting to make peace. The Cubans are getting out of Angola.
And
South
Yasser
Africans are asking for peace.
And
This hasn't
Arafat.
hasn't happened yet. Arafat, who is the self-proclaimed leader of the PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization, is that the name? You may not know what PLO means 20 years from now.
That's right.
Anyway, has recognized the existence of the right to exist and the state of Israel, which is a major fundamental change from the Arab world. So lots of things going on. I think the economy is good. I think it's going to continue to grow.